Good evening, campers, dreamers, and babysitters. After witnessing the death of her grandmother, Lily is orphaned and rendered mute from the trauma. Now sent to live with a new foster family, her situation becomes nightmarish when she's tracked down by the demonic Jack-in-the-Box, Jack Attack, and his murderous handler, Dimples. And welcome to my raw reaction review of Demonic Toys, Jack Attack. The newest installment from Full Moon features and an addition to the ever-expanding Demonic Toys franchise. Just came out, I believe it was last week. I had a chance to check this one out. Dylan did not have the time to see it, so I'm riding solo one more time here with these raw reactions. But this one, I didn't know what to expect. I grew up, I guess, with the Full Moon Features company in my household, just by chance. Puppet Master was on TV a lot, so I ended up watching a lot of those installments. But other than that, we had a chance to check out Subspecies a little bit earlier in the year, and that really is pretty much my tenure in the Full Moon Features productions so far. I'm definitely going to dive a little bit deeper into the Subspecies rabbit hole, but Demonic Toys, this one has been a blind spot for me. So this was my first time getting into that universe. I know this one, directed by William Butler, has done a couple previous installments. I know there's a 2010 Demonic Toys out there that he has done. So back again in the hot seat to bring us this newest Demonic Toy. So I didn't really know what to expect. This is a runtime, I gotta let you know, easy breezy, 59 minutes. So this one does go pretty quick in and out. So you don't have a lot of time to sit with it. And I think that's one of the things. Not a lot of time for character development. We open up. There is a pretty gory scene at the very beginning here. Kind of sets the tone for what we're going to be expecting with our main character, Lily. And then we also have another character, Audrey. And those are primarily our big characters here, Lily being, as I mentioned, the kind of orphan throughout the film, and she's mute for almost entirely the whole film. Audrey being a child protective services worker who has an interest in Audrey and her well-being, or in Lily's well-being. So they kind of pair up as this odd couple throughout the film, as we see this demonic boy Jack Attack doing some killing, if you will. So like I said, this is pretty easy breezy throughout. I think there are a couple moments where you do linger a little bit longer, especially with a lack of character development throughout the film. I think some scenes run a little bit longer than you would think they would. And, I think there's some gore in here, but it's not as gory as I was expecting. I was expecting kind of a nonstop just gore fest in general. And there are a couple graphic scenes in here, but it's nothing that's going to be bombarding you throughout. I think it does make you wait for those scenes. And then, by the end of it, you do get some pretty wild stuff. So, if you're looking for that aspect of it, I think there's going to be a couple moments where you're waiting for it to happen, but when it does, I think it is worth it in a sense. I think for my money, this was all practical. So I think fans would be treated to that, especially if you've been in the Demonic Toys realm for a little bit and you've been waiting for this installment. I think you'll be pleased at what they do bring you from that aspect. But, for me, just coming in here cold and not really knowing the universe, I didn't really feel any connection with the film or its characters. And I think that's kind of a little bit of a negative when you have one of your main characters, being mute throughout. I think it's the rest of the cast to kind of make sure you sympathize with that main character who's not really speaking. And I didn't really get that. Some of the characters come off negative, but I don't think it's as negative in a sense that would drive you to care a little bit more about our main character, Lily. Now, I do like the pairing of Audrey and Lily, but they do, as much of an odd couple as they are throughout this film, they do spend a lot of screen time apart, and then kind of, come back together in and out throughout the film. But I did like that pairing overall, and some of the gore in here, like I said, is pretty worth it. There's when they do show it, I'll say that they take their time, and I think they're going to be pleasing their fans with that aspect of it. Overall, for me, like I said, I didn't really feel too much of a connection here. I think this was just kind of one of those films where you turn it on, it's pretty easily digestible. I know Dylan likes to call some of these fast food horror, and I do think Demonic Toys would probably fall right into that fast food horror where you're just gonna go through the drive-through, get what you came for, and then head back on out. So, if you're a big fan of the Demonic Toys franchise, I think you'll be pleased in that aspect. For me, it didn't really hit. I think I am going to go back and check out that 1992 original Demonic Toys and just to see what that's about. I think the good thing about the 2023 version here is they really do lean on that kind of 1990s aesthetic, especially that feeling you get when you watch something from the 90s in terms of, especially when it is that B kind of slasher horror. I think this film knows what it is and wasn't gonna bring an audience anything that they weren't prepared for. So, if you're a big fan of that type of stuff, especially a lot of full moon feature stuff, I think you're gonna get what you came for. I think you'll be fulfilled in that aspect. For me, I think, if I was a kid and watched this back in the 90s, I think I would have, enjoyed it a little bit more. I think my tastes have changed as I've grown, and I'm more a little bit into the psychological horror. I do like my slashers as well, but I think this left me wanting a little bit extra, if you will. At the end, there is a bit of a twist that I think is supposed to kind of have that impact, that oomph for the audience. But at least from my perspective, I did have to go back and watch a little bit more of the film, rewatch it to kind of make those connections and to kind of really get what they were going for in a sense. So that really didn't hit for me. I think they were trying to give the audience something a little extra, I think, but overall it didn't really nail it for me. And then the resolution here, I think, is something interesting. I think they do bring something a little bit different than what an audience would be expecting. Certainly, I think the idea here is to bring a little bit more to Demonic Toys and that character Jack Attack. So I wouldn't be surprised to actually see another installment here. For me, I don't think I'll be going back and checking this one out. I think, if you're a big fan of full moon features, if you love that kind of B slasher 90s horror, I think this one is going to be something worth checking out for you. It's just my tastes have changed a little bit more. And it's only 59 minutes in terms of runtime. So it's going to be something that is very easily digestible for you. And it's not going to be a huge time commitment for you. But overall, I got to say, would I recommend this to someone coming in cold and is not a big fan of full moon features or anything like that? I don't think I would. But I think Full Moon Features does know their audience, and I think they did cater to their audience. So if it's something you're interested in, I would say give it a go, give it a check out, and let us know what you think here in the comments if you do. But yeah, that wraps it up for me here in Demonic Toys and Jack Attack. But if you haven't checked out the channel recently, please do. I mean, we have a lot of great stuff coming up. Please like and subscribe as well. A lot of reviews going up, and it's only going to get busier. We got Splatterthon right around the corner. Sunday Scaries every Sunday, so make sure you check that out. But yeah, that wraps it up for me here. And until next time, I'm Luke Janesco, and stay scared.